Meg.
Megan, why you lying on that boy? Why you lying
Is it
on
the
that
truth
boy?
or a lie?
You look good in that purple.
It's day 2 of one of the greatest, most important trials in hip hop in the last decade. This is an important trial. Let's just be honest. But ever since this Meg and Tory situation has happened, we've gotten some information, but we really don't have a full grasp of what really happened. And that's why I'm glad that this trial is finally underway, because at least at the end of it, we'll have some answers. But I do think that there are some things that we have to discuss, because in order to understand what's going on, we have to have a grasp of what we know and what is going on. So let's start with what we know. We know for a fact that something happened to Meg that night. Somebody did something to Meg that night. She was hurt. We've seen doctors' reports of injuries. We've seen the videos of her injured, walking barefoot. Something happened to Meg that night. That is an indisputable fact. Something happened to Meg that night. Meg is accusing Tory of shooting her. But what people have to understand is that the burden of proof is on Meg and her team. Meg and her team, the prosecution, the burden of proof, they have to prove that Tory Lanez is, without a doubt or without a reasonable doubt, is the one who shot her. Was Tory the one that shot her? There's one more important fact, and that is that Tory and his team, they only have to prove that Tory wasn't the one that shot her. They're not trying to dispute that something happened to her. As I said before, it's an indisputable fact. All Tory has to do is prove that he is the one, or he is not the one, who pulled the trigger that caused her harm. Now, whether you think he can do that or not is debatable. But the fact of the matter is that we just don't know. We don't know. I understand that we're in an era where it's believe all women and women's rights and men bad, misogyny, patriarchy. I get it. I get it. Throw the buzzwords that you want to. But at the end of the day, unless we were there, we'll never know the full details of what transpired that night. And that's why I get bothered when people are so quick to pass judgment. When people are so quick to pass judgment without any facts. I'm not a Tory Lanez fan, but I'm not about to go accusing that man of something without any facts. And I'm not just gonna believe Meg because she's a woman. That's that sister code. A lot of women, they will believe women no matter what. And they will stand by women when they're dead wrong. And they'll know that the woman is dead wrong. And they'll still stand by him and support him. So let's get into a recap of day 2 of the trial. This is by James Queeley on Twitter. It reads, quick thread. Meg Thee Stallion was only on the stand for about 45 minutes this morning, but she walked through the entire shooting in that time. She entered court around 11:15 a.m. to shouts of support in the hallway. Tory Lanez did not look at her when she entered. Megan was emotional as soon as she took the stand, describing Lanez as someone she used to be friends with, before telling a prosecutor she didn't feel good. I can't believe I have to come up here and do this. That's what she said. She then says the argument in the SUV started because she wanted to leave the party at Kylie Jenner's house and Lanez didn't. He had an attitude, and when they got in the car, he told Meg, "You need to stop lying to your friend," referring to Kelsey Harris, friend A. Now, let's just take a look at that for a second. The argument started because she wanted to leave and he didn't. So he had an attitude. Somehow, because he had an attitude, he just magically decided to expose the fact that he was both you and Kelsey Harris. There's obviously some, and this is what kills me. This is what's always killed me about Meg's story, is that it's always obvious that there are holes in her story, and it's always obvious that she's leaving things out. She's not telling the whole story. That's an accountability thing. What is that? But, you telling me that this grown man just had an attitude, so he decided to reveal that he was screwing both you and your friend. Friend A. That don't make sense. She says she wanted to get out of the car right then and there, but, and I quote, "I'm in the peak of being famous and I'm in a thong and I look all crazy." Was obviously worried about being photographed. Eventually, he lets her out of the car. Was he holding her hostage? And Meg Thee Stallion describes the shooting as it has been in court and interviews before. Eventually, he lets her out of the car, and Meg Thee Stallion describes the shooting as it has been in court and interviews before. Lanez yells, "Dance," and fires 5 times. She says, "I'm in shock. I'm scared. I hear the gun going off. I can't believe he's shooting at me." The defense attorney, George, I can't pronounce that. I'm not even going to try. The defense attorney has repeatedly argued that no one else will testify. Lanez or anyone yelled the phrase "dance," phrasing the prosecution has used repeatedly, and the DDA, Alexander Bach, began his opening argument with, Meg Thee Stallion says the gunfire floored everyone. Lanez looked shocked, Kelsey looked shocked, Jaquan, the driver, and Tory Lanez security looked shocked. She then confirms that while the argument started about their romantic situation, it quickly escalated to a fight about their careers. Lanez apparently told Meg Thee Stallion she ain't shit, and Meg Thee Stallion responded by insulting his stature in industry. She said that really set him off. She also hits on a topic that's been central to the case between the Daystar record and Drake's recent lyrics that implied she lied about the shooting, that she feared reporting Lanez could hurt her career. The whole situation in the industry is like a big boys club. Like I'm telling on one of y'all friends, now you're all about to hate me. I'm gonna just be honest with you. This is what I'm talking about. I just find it really hard to believe that this man really shot this woman because she insulted his music career. Now, I'm not gonna lie, if he did that, that is some. As far as the Drake comment, the Drake lyric, and as far as the industry being a boys club, that is absolute BS, and she knows it. That is BS. That is BS. Right now, we are living in a Me Too era, a believe all women era. You coming out and telling the truth, if you're telling the truth, people will believe you. The reason why people are pushing back is because your story doesn't make sense. It's not because you're a woman. It's because your story doesn't make sense. Asked why she didn't report shooting to LAPD during the vehicle stop. At this time, we are at the height of police brutality. I felt if I said this man has shot me, they might shoot first and ask questions later. I don't feel safe in the car. I don't feel safe with the police. That is the most asinine thing I've ever heard. So you mean to tell me that this man, you believe this man just shot you? So you'd rather get in the car with him over what you believe over the police? If he did it or not, that is the stupidest thing ever. Why would you get back in the car with somebody who just shot you? That doesn't make sense. Y'all don't think. You can't pull this stuff over. Some of us can comprehend. Some of us are listening to the things that people say and we can comprehend. You mean to tell me that this man just shot you and you're more scared of the police than him? That's why I say that black culture is trash. If this man did what he said he did, and you still feel safer with him, that's why your story doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. She asked, first of all, in the black community, in my community, it's not really acceptable to be cooperating with police officers. She says this, but yet she cooperated with police officers. So who got in your head, Megan, and talked you into cooperating? She's repeated the allegations that Lanez offered both her and Kelsey Harris $1 million not to talk to the police, saying he couldn't get arrested again as he was on probation. Again, the defense says Lanez has no prior convictions, thus he can't be on probation. He can get deported though. That's true. He can get deported. That basically is a recap of the first 45 minutes of the trial where Meg was on the stand. Honestly, just listening to that alone is just really frustrating. You know, there are people that who reported that when she returned, she was a little bit more emotional. The theatrics were on more. But I just want to point out that I cannot wait for the cross-examination, because she has to be held accountable for these holes in her story. Someone shot you. Okay, that's good. But if you don't know who shot you, then why are you speaking on it? Why are you saying who shot you when you really don't know?
The Stallion testifying. I'm going to take you through what she testified about in the morning. We're currently on lunch break. She's going to come back and complete her testimony this afternoon. It started with questions about Tory Lanez. She testified that she knew him only for a short time leading up to this incident. They were friends. She was asked, were you intimate? She said yes. She was asked, were you exclusive?
She gotta tell the
she
truth
said
now.
Quite happily no. Then they asked her about her...
She gotta tell the truth now, because that's perjury. She don't have a choice but to tell the truth.
Relationship with Kelsey. She said that she's known Kelsey since freshman year of college. How do you know her? How would you describe the relationship? I found her answer very interesting. She said, I quote, we did everything together. They asked her, hey, how do you feel about being here today? She was struggling through the testimony. I was a little surprised at her answer. She said, I don't feel good. I can't believe I have to come do this. Not really sounding like a victim to me. She's a strong black woman. That's the image.
Yeah, I can't believe I have to testify in a trial where I'm accusing someone of shooting.
That the jury, I think, would have gotten of her, and I expected her to say something more like, I'm here for justice, I'm here to tell my truth, that man shot me. They asked her about when they left the party and when Tory got there, so she explained that initially she had gotten there with a larger group of people, then later she asked Tory to come. By the time Tory got there, it was a lot fewer people, and then towards the end of the night, they asked her who was left, and she said it was basically just me, Tory, and Kelsey, and then we got in the pool. Then she said that...
That's not the only person that was in that pool. That's what I mean when I say Meg isn't telling the truth. That's not the only person that was in their pool. And there's a missing component to the reason why Meg and Tory were arguing earlier. What I was talking about earlier, when she was describing everything, there's something that she left out. There's something that she left out. There's one piece that she left out. Can you figure it out? By the way, I'm J Red Unfiltered. And if you rocking with me so far, then please like, subscribe, and share this video with somebody, because we taking bets. Who are you? Put in the comment section. Team Tory or Team Meg? Put that down in the comment section.
When they were in the pool, her wig started getting loose. It was coming off. She felt uncomfortable, so she wanted to leave. She told Kelsey. Her and Kelsey went to the driver and said, hey, we want to leave. And this brings up the first point of contention, where, according to Meg, the driver said, I won't leave without Tory. Now, obviously, Tory's team says Meg said she won't leave without Tory. And then the person actually, the defense attorney asked, well, why didn't Tory want to leave? And everybody was waiting for the answer to that question, because that's the whole Kylie Jenner angle. Unfortunately, defense objected. The judge said sustained. She didn't answer the question, why didn't Tory leave? The whole situation in the car, she...
Ooh. Ooh.
Testified that, hey, look, we all got in the car. I got out, an argument started to break out. Basically, Tory started the argument. I was shocked when she dropped and admitted that this argument started with Tory saying to Meg, hey, why are you snaking your friend like this? And basically revealing that he had hooked up with both of them, that they had been cheated on by him. And this sort of led into the whole big fight. At one point, she gets out of the car, but then she did get back in.
One thing I will say, though, Tory is a bold motherfucker. That nigga is bold. That nigga Tory is bold. Meg is a snake, though.
Because they convinced her to get back in, and then we get to the shooting. And here, there was some shocking stuff. So here's some of the key stuff. One, Meg described that, hey, look, I got out of the car, I looked back over me, and then I saw Tory holding a gun, pointing it at me. And
that is very important. That is very important. I need you to listen to what just happened.
It started to break out. Basically, Tory started the argument. I was shocked when she dropped and admitted that this argument started with Tory saying to Meg, hey, why are you snaking your friend like this? And basically revealing that he had hooked up with both of them, that they had been cheated on by him. And this sort of led into the whole big fight. At one point, she gets out of the car, but then she did get back in because they convinced her to get back in, and then we get to the shooting. And here, there was some shocking stuff. So here's some of the key stuff. One, Meg described that, hey, look, I got out of the car, I looked back over me, and then
I got out of the car. So she was walking away. She looked back over her.
Saw Tory holding a gun, pointing it at me.
I saw Tory holding a gun, pointing it at me.
And he shot me after he said, dance, bitch. But then, this is the prosecution.
And he shot me after he said, dance.
Asking the questions, and even in the prosecution asking the questions, she said stuff that makes you scratch your head, which leads you to believe that what's going to happen under cross-examination. The prosecution asked her this: where was Kelsey when Tory was doing the shooting? You know what Meg said? Meg said, I didn't see Kelsey.
Ooh. You know, I have an idea why she probably didn't see Kelsey, because she was walking away.
I only saw Tory. Question, was she in your field of vision? Because she's right there. Where was she? If you can't answer that question, that doesn't seem like it adds up, especially not in a case where the theory from the other side is that there was a struggle and that Kelsey was the one who let off the gun. If the victim can't tell you where Kelsey is, that seems highly problematic to me. The other
Very problematic. Because if you're so sure,
to the testimony that were a little bit confusing is they asked her, where was Tory? Was he standing on the car? Was he standing on the ground? And she said, well, he was shooting up over the window, but I don't know if he was standing on something. And they asked her, how tall is he? She said, I think he's like 5'3" or 5'4". He's taller than that, but that's not tall enough to shoot over the window of an Escalade while standing on the ground. And then they asked her, hey, was he on the passenger door, or was he on the front door or the back door? She said he's on the passenger side, and they were like, all right, well, was it the front door or the back door? She said, I don't. The other part of her testimony that I found a little confusing, and it didn't mesh with what the prosecutor said in his opening. The prosecutor said in his opening that Kelsey went to where Meg was, and that after Kelsey went to where Meg was, after Meg had been shot, that Tory was approaching them. Meg's testimony today was different. Meg's testimony was not that she got shot, she went away, and then Kelsey went to where she was, and then Tory came at the two of them. No, Meg's testimony is she got shot, she went away, and then she saw Kelsey and Tory both coming to them. Again, does not add up. We finished with, why did you not tell the police the truth? And this was very interesting, whereas typically prosecutors are in the business of supporting police officers. Here, they elicited testimony where Meg said, look, I didn't tell the police the truth because this was around the time George Floyd had been shot, and I thought if I told them the truth, they were going to shoot Tory.
Nonsense. You're so worried about him. This man just shot you. And your first concern to the person who just assaulted you with a deadly weapon is to be worried about them getting shot?
I didn't feel safe with the police.
No, I'm sorry. You're just such a righteous and noble person that there's no way that you just couldn't love this person despite everything he's put you through, right?
I am, and I thought this was kind of weird, but she said it. She said, I'm a member of the black community, and in my community, we don't cooperate. What do I think? I think that the rest of the direct testimony is going to come out. It will be interesting. I think the defense attorney has a lot of room. Hey, what's up, bro? I think the defense attorney has a lot of room to poke holes in the story, and I think the rest of the witnesses are going to say things that the defense attorney is going to have to show that it doesn't all add up.
Well, that's pretty much everything important about that. I just think that it's very important that we keep it in perspective that something did happen to Meg. Something happened to Meg. And the burden of proof is on the prosecution to prove that Tory was the one. Tory alone was the one who executed the shots. And therefore, the defense, their job is only to prove that Tory wasn't the one who shot her, or that he didn't do it without reasonable doubt. So that basically was a recap of day 2 and this Meg and Tory saga. So we gonna stay tuned in, and we gonna get to the bottom of this one. You know, if you rocked out to the end, I just want to let you know that I appreciate you. And if you could like this video, subscribe to the platform if you haven't already, and if you could share this video, and if you can hit that bell notification so that you can get notified when I do upload new videos. I like having conversations that actually mean something. So let's continue to rock out. I'm J Red Unfiltered, signing out.